Welcome to those of you watching this video on demand, and welcome to those of you who will be joining me live here shortly. It is your favorite author and storyteller, Matt D. Talford, back with another weekend edition of Matty's Rap Live. So I'm going to wait for a few people to get in. Now, y'all know I normally like to start off with a song, and I don't know, are we gonna do that tonight? I didn't really get hit with the copyright cops last time I did this. So let me see if I can get this thing started here, family. Just give me just a minute. Let me pull this up. Give me just a minute. Come on here. Okay, there we go. Looks like we got one person in there. Welcome to you. Welcome. We'll start off with a little bit of music here. Hopefully the copyright cops don't get me on this one. Just a little something to set the mood since it's a Friday night. Feels like Saturday for some reason. Welcome to those of you watching this video live, and welcome to those of you watching on demand. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys are staying warm, depending on what part of the country you're in. And hopefully, for those of you that celebrate Christmas, hopefully y'all ain't out there playing tackle football in them stores, all right? Here we go. Little OJ's Stairway to Heaven. As soon as it picks up. Do 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 do. Here we go, climbing the stairway to heaven. Here we go. Why I be messing up the words, y'all? Walking the road of ecstasy. You taking the... It's because y'all watching. I don't never mess up when I'm in the car, y'all. World off our shoulders. The door is open for you. The door is open for me. Here we go. What's up, Hot Shot? Still in a moment of pleasure, you and I. We're gonna find the pirate's treasure. Oh, baby, here we go. Climbing the stairway to heaven. Climbing the stairway to heaven. Together, step by step. Step by step. Oh, baby. Why they used to holler? Why they used to holler with them songs back in the day, y'all? Why did they holler? No, they don't holler no more. This is why I can't listen to this modern music. Because the dudes don't holler no more. They don't holler. These dudes back then. See, I'm going to tell y'all something. People ask me why I drive a Lincoln. I drive a Lincoln. I'm not bragging. It's not anything. It's a 2016, okay? So it's getting up around classic range, I guess. But you can't drive a Lincoln and listen to modern music. You got to listen to old school when you're driving a Lincoln. Lincoln and Cadillac, you got to be listening to the OJs, all right? Step by step, together, step by step. Oh, climbing. All right, y'all, that's enough. That's enough clowning, because I'm not climbing, I'm clowning. Okay, all right, let's get this show started, y'all. Listen, before I get started, we got 4 people in the room here, so welcome to those of you that are watching this live. And to those of you that are watching this on demand, welcome to you as well. Now, some of you know that I did a collaboration. What's up, Allie? Nice to see you here. Thank you, Hot Shot. That was really me clowning, but anyway, thank you so much. Some of you are wondering why I did a collaboration with my homegirl over Anya's Intuitive, my homegirl Anya, and that video is no longer available. I took that video down for a couple of reasons, and I want to get into that before I get into tonight's subject matter, which is kind of a follow-up to that video. So The reason, let me turn this off. I thought I had turned it off. I think I just turned it down. Hang on one second. Okay, we're going. All right. So the reason why I took that video down, for those of you that are wondering, hey, Matt, I started watching. A lot of you guys will start watching some of my lives and then you'll come back later and like, okay, I got to go or I got something going on, but I'm going to come and pick this up later. You probably noticed that it was no longer online. I got to tell y'all that I made a recommendation in that video, and you know that typically when you do something that doesn't quite agree with your inner man, with your spirit, you feel that little twinge down in here. You feel it down somewhere around in that solar plexus, and you're like, I don't think they wanted me to do that. And so she said, for sure, I drive a stankin' Lincoln also. Allie, what you driving? What you driving, Allie? Is it a truck or a car? Let me know. Let me know what model Lincoln you drive. Let me know. Mine is a sedan. I drive a 4-door. I got a 4-door Lincoln. So I love it. I love my car. I got one problem with it. I got one problem. I really got two. No, I'm kidding. Nav. Okay. I like that. I like the nav. I got one problem with Lincoln. Lincoln, if you watching this, y'all fix y'all. Shh. Okay. Lincoln got this thing, man, with the leaks. Okay. And my dad drives a Lincoln too. And he says, son, for as long as I've been driving Lincolns, they've been having these leaks with their cars. And another friend of mine I got an MKS. Another friend of mine has the same problem, and he had to get that fixed a couple times. Aside from that, I like the ride, y'all. I just like the ride. I love the ride. I've talked to a number of Lincoln owners that have owned other luxury vehicles, and they told me they came back to Lincoln because they couldn't find anything that matched that ride. I tend to agree with them. I've driven in a couple of different cars. So anyway, let me get back to the subject matter. So we did a collaboration video talking about polygyny because it's trending right now. It's one of the hottest trending topics in the so-called Black community. I know I don't like that word, but it is what it is. And so anyway, in that video, I said something and I felt that twinge down in here. And I was like, I don't think I was supposed to say that. So when I went back and watched the replay, I was like, I'm gonna leave it there. And something was like, Matt, take the video down. And I was like, I'm gonna leave it there. And someone was like, Matt, take the video down. So then my spirit spoke to me and said, I want you to go and look at the channel that you recommended in that video. And that was the channel. And listen, let me say this up front. No knock to that brother that has that channel. I believe it's called Outstanding Personal Relationships. That's it. No knock to that brother. No knock to the sisters that are part of that team. But the spirit had me go back and just look at the channel. I happened to look at one video pulled up. I'd seen the channel before. That's why I recommended it. But I happened to pull up one video where the brother was on there talking by himself. And then I saw him on Instagram. And then the spirit spoke to me and said, you know what, Matt? Do you see now why I told you to take it down? And I said, yes. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the reasons why I did that. Okay. And why we're talking about why the title of tonight's video is Are monogamy or polygyny found in scripture? How to fix the problem with Western marriage. All right. I'm going to jump right in on that. So I'm going to answer the question that I posed in the title, Are monogamy or polygyny, which is trending right now. It is one of the biggest trending topics when you're talking about relationships. It's probably the biggest trending relationship topic out there right now. And I talked about that with Anya on that live a little bit. And it's trending for a number of reasons. She gave her reason why she felt like it's trending. I gave mine. I'm going to tell you again. I think it is a part of the great awakening that is happening. And it's just like these ancient souls that reincarnated are now waking up and realizing, wait a minute, this feels different than perhaps the last time I was on this planet. Let's see what's going on. There's a lot of things wrong. Let's see how we can fix those. So if you're listening to this video and you're here, you are alive on this earth right now, you came here to be part of the greatest show probably since the flood. I'm going to say that. This what's coming up, 2024 and beyond, is, in my opinion, going to be the greatest show since the flood of Noah's Ark. I'm here to say that. I'm going to put that out there. Okay. So with that, getting back on topic, the reason, again, for the whole trending is people are waking up. Now, to answer that question, are monogamy or polygyny found in scripture, and how to fix the problem with Western marriage, I'm going to go ahead and answer that question. Neither monogamy or polygyny are found in scripture. Huh? Man, wait a minute. But no. Y'all are missing what I'm saying. Neither monogamy nor polygyny are found in scripture. I'm going to see if somebody is hip to what I'm saying there. I'm gonna see if somebody's hip. Let me keep going. What is in scripture is man, woman, union, offspring. That's what's in scripture. So I made some notes. I didn't want this to be a terribly long video because I'm going to be going live with Anya, and she hit me up a little bit earlier. So she's got an Instagram channel. I want y'all to I'm going to type that in there for those of y'all that want to see our back and forth collab, which is our energy is always beautiful whenever we hook up. So let's see. It is at Love Anya. And that is Love, Love, Anya, Aonyea. Boom, it's in the chat. So I'm going to get to my notes, but I want to go ahead and say neither monogamy nor polygyny are in scripture. So I'm going to make a thesis statement, and then I'm going to hit my notes up. The number one way to fix the problem with Western marriage, which is busted, I mean, if it's got a 50% success rate, that's not successful, okay? 500 teams don't make the playoffs. Let me say that again. 500 win percentage teams do not make the playoffs. If you're a head coach of a football team, a baseball team, basketball team, whatever, and you've got a record of 100 and 100, you're getting fired. People want to see wins. They want to see more wins than losses, okay? They don't want to see fewer wins than losses, and they really don't even want to see the same amount of wins as the same amount of losses. So the problem with Western marriage is it's got a 50% success rate, which means it has a 50% failure rate. That means you got a 1 in 2 chance of staying married if you get married. So what's the number one way to fix that problem? You got to get rid of those GD labels. I'm going to try to keep it clean tonight, okay? You got to get rid of those GD labels. Get rid of the labels. That's the number one problem. Labels draw attention. Let me say that again. Labels draw attention. So if you get rid of the labels, who cares? Like if somebody, listen, anybody watching this video, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it on demand, if you are a man watching this video, who cares if you're married to one woman? Who cares if you're married to 2 women? Who cares if you're married to 3? Who cares if you're married to 4? That is y'all business. That's y'all's business. If y'all are in a union that is working for y'all, congratulations. On the flip side, if you are a woman, a female that is married to a man that is also married to another woman, that's married to another woman even, who cares? That's y'all business. The problem comes in when you put labels on things, because labels draw attention. All right, that's my thesis. Now let me get into my notes. I'm gonna get into my notes, and we're gonna break some stuff down here, because I believe that those of us that are here on this planet in this generation are here to problem solve. I think we're here to fix generations of bull crap. We're here to fix generations of things that were broken by our predecessors for various different reasons. A lot of them unbeknownst to us at this point, but you know, as many people in the spiritual community say, we are our ancestors. We are our ancestors. Unless you believe that you've only been here one time, and when everything else in the universe is cyclical and you've only been here one time, that's on you. But who's to say that you didn't make some of these decisions and you're back here trying to clean them up? All right. Let's talk about some why. Okay, I'm gonna jump to the bottom here. I'm jumping around my notes here. Why over half of all marriages in America and the West in general fail? Number one, because we're gonna fix some stuff here tonight, y'all. You know what? Let me follow my own advice and go back. Let's talk about some fundamentals. I'll deal with that at the end. Fundamentals. Hey, Sandy, what's happening? She says, so why is it the man who can have multiple mates, or did I miss something? That's a great question. Can I go through my notes and then you hit me back with that? Because I want to come back. I'll come back to that at the end. I don't want to get off track. That is probably the number one question. That is probably the number one question that a lot of women ask. Oh, well, why is it that a man can have multiple mates and women can't? I might cover that in my fundamentals section. I'm hitting the fundamentals now. So if you don't hear me to answer that question in the fundamentals, then hit me back up and say, hey, Matt, I need you to answer my question, because I will answer it. So, but I want to make sure I'm staying on point. Great question. I promise you I will answer it before we're done. Now, By the way, Sandy, thank you for being here. And thank you for those of y'all who are here tonight. I appreciate y'all being here with me on a Friday night. A lot of stuff you could be doing on a Friday night. Y'all are here with Matt D. Talford, so I appreciate that. Now, throw away the labels. At its core, it is supposed to be a goal-based partnership. A goal-based partnership. We as in grown ASS men. Y'all, can I talk like I want to tonight? Can I talk like I want? I really want to take. Maybe I should take the tie off and loosen the collar up so I can talk like I really want to talk. Bump it. I'm gonna talk like I really want to talk. Throw away the labels, okay? Because we're talking about what's supposed to be a goals-based relationship between a grown-ass man and a grown-ass woman, okay? But we have allowed society to dictate to us what it should look like when it's totally up to the members of the corporation. Totally up to the members of the corporation. So to answer your question, Sandy, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm so tempted. You may find your answer in the narrative. First thing, throw away the labels. It's a union. It's a union between a consenting man and a consenting woman, or multiple partners in there. Okay. But again, I'm not advocating for one or the other. I'm trying to fix a problem. And the number one problem is a label. The number one problem is the label. Okay. Now, number two, if we're talking about and I really don't even like the word marriage, because it's really like I just said there before, it's a corporation. If you know what marriage used to be back in the day, it wasn't. Keep going, Matt. Keep going. You know what? I better not, because if I didn't write this down, then I might miss it. So I'm gonna say what's on my mind, and I'm gonna read Hot Shot's comment after that. We have allowed Western culture that is based in one of the most wicked societies in history. Okay, Western culture, which is based in one of the most wicked societies in history, the Greco-Romans, and we've allowed that culture to change the fundamental reason for joining in a union that has historically always been in place. They have made it about an emotion. I talked about that in my live with Anya. They have made it about I'm in love with this person. Can we get married? I want to marry you. Will you marry me? I'm in love with you. Those are emotions that are going to go. They're going to change. I promise you, those emotions are going to change, and that is probably the number one reason why a lot of these unions fail. Okay, but I'm gonna keep going I'm gonna keep going because this is rich, y'all. I'm gonna keep going. Let me read a comment here. Hot Shot said regarding Sandy's comment, actually, especially when the female divine is in charge and birth you men. LOL. I'm glad we having this grown up conversation, y'all. I'm glad we're having this. I'm coming back to that. Okay. Number 3, what is the goal of the partnership? That's not up to me to answer. That's not up to me to answer. What if you remove? Listen, if you take sexual intercourse, we grown folks tonight. Okay, this one ain't for the kids. If y'all got the kids in the room, you might want to cover their ears or tell them to go in the other room. Okay, if you remove sexual intercourse from the equation, what do you have? I'll wait. A lot of people make it about a physical feeling. If you remove sexual intercourse from the equation, what do you have? Some might call it friends with benefits. Actually, no, because if you took sexual intercourse away from it, what do you have? What is it? Somebody want to put that in the comments? I'm gonna keep going. I'll backtrack when I read in the comments. If you take sexual intercourse out of the equation of a so-called marriage, and I don't like that either. Again, there's a label, but if you take that out, what do you have? She said empire building. Maybe you can not really, Sandy. I'm gonna disagree with you there. Why? Because you cannot create an empire unless you make that physical connect, okay? Unless there's copulation and procreation, there is no kingdom building. There's no empire building. You just got, I'm gonna let y'all answer. Keep going. She's nothing. Thank you, Hot Shot. You basically got two people that know each other, but it's more to it than that. It's got to be more to it than that. That's my point. So nothing really isn't, to me, is a good answer. Nothing isn't a good answer, really, because what do you have outside of sex? Because I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it on you now. Think about these relationships where the sex is bomb, but the dude is going upside the girl's head. We having a grown up conversation tonight. What about those? What about those? And I know some of these women. I know some women that have told me this was years ago. But I had a girl, and the sad part is we were teenagers. We were teenagers working at the theme park I used to work at. And she said to me, you know, I tried to hook up with a friend of mine. I'm keeping names out of this because I don't ever know who's watching. But I tried to set her and a very good friend of mine up to be boyfriend, girlfriend. And she was like, you know what? I like him, but he's too nice. I said, too nice. I said, what do you want? Hulk Hogan? You want freaking somebody to come off the top rope and elbow you or something? And she said, he. Allie said, roommates. I like that. But there's got to be more to it than that. See, we're thinking we need to change our thinking, y'all, because we're thinking just in terms of with all of these answers so far are showing me that we are so heavily programmed that so many of us are under the spell, and we're gonna break the spell tonight. We're gonna break, at least I'm gonna try at least, because I see the spell. When you see the spell, you can break it. If you don't see it, how can you break it? Because you don't know you're under one. You got to see it. So, but anyway, to get back to my friend, I said, well, God, what do you want? He's a nice guy. Like, who wouldn't want a nice guy? She's like, but yeah, he just doesn't give me that. He doesn't give me that manliness. I'm like, I mean, first of all, we're like 16 out here, 16 and 17. How manly can he be? And she said, all right, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. She said, I don't feel like a man loves me unless he's beating me. What the hell? So he gotta slap you huh? Daddy issues. Like, but this was a real conversation. This girl said she didn't feel like a man loved her unless he was beating her. So again, look at the opposite. Y'all always hear me talk about astrology. If you don't understand one sign, but you understand the opposite sign, that is how you can know about the sign that you don't understand, by looking at the opposite. So we're talking about what do you have if you take sex out of it? Well, let's look at what you have when you do have sex in it, but everything else is missing. You got a toxic, abusive relationship. Oh, but the sex is good. Man, you know, shorty, man, she be screaming at me all the time. Yo, man, dude come to the basketball court, scratches on him. Man, what happened to you, man? Oh, man, my girl, man, she's tripping, man, but we cool. Huh? She's tripping. Oh, man, you know, she be tripping, man, talking about, man, I got to answer the phone when she called me, man. She got beside herself. We started arguing and she scratched me up. She did what? Oh, man, you know, she scratched me up. Why are you still there? Man, the sex good, man. Sexy, man. The sex good, dog. So, again, now y'all think about the answer to that question again when I say, if you take sex out of the equation, what do you have? What do you want if you take sex out of the equation? Sex is gravy. That's the problem. We make sex the main course when it's really dessert. That's one of the biggest problems with a lot of these relationships. They're over-sexualized, and guess what? That over-sexualization comes from somebody else telling you what that's supposed to look like. The media, okay? Television. Tell lies to your vision, as some people say. Or you have a vision, you sit there with lies being told. They used to call it a television box, all right? In this television box, all right, you have lies being told to your vision. Television, tell lie vision, okay? Have a vision of somebody telling lies. Sit here and watch lies being told. That's the problem with the soap operas. Soap operas telling you this is supposed to be this way. Reality TV telling you this is supposed to be this way. Reality TV is fake. I know personally. You know how I know? Because I was cast to be in a Walmart commercial. Or maybe I wasn't supposed to say the vendor. It don't matter. It's gone now. I mean, y'all probably didn't see the ad anyway. But I was cast to be in a big box commercial for a big box store years ago. And the coaching prior to showing up for the shoot was, listen, be natural. You're going to go in this specific section and you're just going to ask some questions to this person about the products that are in that section or whatever. And he's going to tell you about it. And that'll be in the end cut. Just be very natural. Just be yourself, whatever. Show up on the day of the shoot. And the guy's got a little script. He's written something down saying, hey, I want you to say this. And I want you to say it like this. I'm like, but wait a minute. They told us yesterday this was reality TV and I just needed to be myself. Yeah, but you know, all reality TV is scripted. That's probably what you didn't know. What? It's fake, y'all. It's fake. So you cannot, to get back to my point, you got to throw away the labels. You cannot allow someone else to dictate to you what your situation is supposed to be like. So to get back to that question that we asked earlier, that question that was asked earlier by Sandy, she said, so why is it the man can have multiple mates? Ask him that. Ask whatever man you want to deal with. Ask yourself, why would you? I mean, let me answer a question with a question. Why are you asking that question? We're gonna get real tonight. Same thing, hot shot. Why are you asking that question? Because I'm going to tell y'all about divine feminine energy since we're talking about it, all right? I'm going to tell y'all about divine feminine and divine masculine energy, but I'm going to come back to that, all right? Let me keep going. Again, what is the goal of the partnership? Why are we coming into union? Why do we want to form a union, which in effect is a corporation? It in effect is a corporation. You know how I found that out? When my in-laws passed away, and my wife was dealing with the estate and the probate and all of that, and we going through all of the paperwork. We like, oh snap! This is like a whole. You're trying to dissolve and resolve a corporation where the two partners in the corporation are no longer here. This is like a whole corporation. What is going on here? You're dealing with the courts about this, that, and the third. And then you realize what it is. You realize what it is. Let me keep going, okay? So you got to ask yourself, what is the goal of the partnership? That's a question for you to answer with that person that wants to be in that partnership with you. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What's our real goal for doing this? Let me keep going. A man's basic, we might be getting into the meat of your question now, Sandy and Hotshot. A man's basic fundamental role in union with woman is to be a protector and a provider. That's his main fundamental role in a union with the woman that is a so-called marriage, which I don't like labels like that. It's a thing. It's a union. Marriage gives it a label. I did a whole video talking about 5 reasons why marriage is a joke. And reason number 1, y'all can go back and watch that video. Reason number 1 is the word marriage itself is a spell. When you hear the word marriage, it comes with expectations. But whose expectations? Were they expectations that you created, or were they expectations that were prepackaged and given to you by society, and then you tweak them to your? You see what I'm saying? Let's keep going, because let me jump around a little bit. Let me jump around a little bit, because if you found yourself marooned on an island with another man, ladies, if you found yourself marooned on an island with a man, fellas, you found yourself marooned on an island with a woman, you ain't got no justice of the peace. You ain't got no church. You ain't got y'all together. And whatever happens, happens. Right? Let me keep going. A man's basic fundamental role in union with a woman is to be protector and provider. In addition to those roles, he has the joint responsibility with the mother of his children of being a wise and righteous teacher. We're talking about fundamental, okay? I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back of the room. A man's basic fundamental role in union with a woman is to be, number 1, protector, number 2, provider. In addition to those roles, he has the joint responsibility with the mother of his children of being a wise and righteous teacher. I don't need no man to protect me. I can protect myself. Yeah. In a society where there's a government structure, but being a society that's at war. And now all of a sudden it ain't no police departments because they're the first ones the enemy soldiers looking for, or second ones. Matter of fact, the enemy soldiers see the police as enemy combatants, just like they do the military they're opposing. So now you're a woman in a war zone with no infrastructure. How well are you protecting yourself now? You ever thought about that? Basic fundamental. You know how Jacob Jacob met Rachel. He met Rachel when some dudes was about to throw down on her and her sisters drawing water at the well. Some dudes was really about to go in on them. Jacob was like, nah, we ain't doing that today. Dispatched him easily. He was a bad mamma jamma. Dispatched him easily. What would have happened if Jacob didn't show up? See, we don't think about this stuff. We don't think about it. Let's keep going. Basic fundamental role, protector and provider. Guess what? No woman on the planet can outwork a man physically. No woman on the planet can outwork a man physically. If the man should impregnate the woman and now she cannot do all of that heavy lifting, he's now a protector. She can't protect herself. She can't be out there doing agricultural work or doing what he's providing now. I know I'm getting basic, y'all. I ain't talking about our corporate structure, but again, look at Ukraine. It only takes one bomb falling for everything to change. We need to understand what's going on in the world right now. We need to understand what is happening in the world and don't ever think that it can't happen in the United States. Watch that movie they just released on Netflix called Leave the World Behind. It might scare you. It might scare you. I tell people this all the time. I was in the military. It's been over 3 decades now, but my military mindset has never left. I'm always thinking in terms of what happens if we get enemy troops on this soil. I have to switch modes now. I got to switch modes. Yeah, I'm a civilian, but I'm thinking like a soldier now. I got to do something. I got to do something I've never had to do in my life on this soil. We need to be thinking in terms of that because the world's about to flip. Y'all saw my 2024 prediction video. The world is about to flip. The world as you know it is about to flip. It's coming. It's prophesied. It is prophesied. I ain't trying to scare nobody. I'm trying to get you to think in terms of, you know, what is real and what isn't. Because a lot of this stuff, what I'm dealing with tonight, by the end of this, you're going to realize that a lot of this was smoke and has been smoke for only a few hundred years. For only maybe not a few hundred, maybe about 600, 700, 800 years. But prior to that, there was no conversation about monogamy versus polygyny. And again, to answer your question, those terms are not found in the Bible, and there's a reason for that. I'm gonna keep going. Okay. Now, in addition to those roles, he has a joint responsibility with the mother of his children of being a wise and righteous teacher. What happens if you ladies, what happens if you say yes to a dude that says, "Will you marry me?" and he's a retard? And I don't mean that in any negative sense as far as somebody having mental disabilities. I'm talking about somebody who just act ignorant. And you find out later that he's ignorant. You didn't know he's ignorant until after you said "I do" and you moved in with him. Now you find out there's a little bit more to it than oop, daddy long stroke. See what I'm saying? Let's keep going. It is a man's divine right to father as many children as he desires. Stay with me. I'm going to come back to that divine feminine. It is a man's divine right to father as many children as he desires. But with that right comes the divine responsibility of conducting himself responsibly. See, and I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem. A lot of people, again, when you're thinking about it in terms of just, we having fun. Why he get to have more fun than me? Why he get to? I said this in that other video. I don't have it in my notes here, but I'm gonna say it here. When you look at forced monogamy, and I don't like the terms, y'all. I'm gonna come back to that at the end. I don't like those terms, but we got to deal with them right now for a minute. When you look at forced monogamy, because that's what it is. Monogamy by choice is one thing, but monogamy because an institution or another man tells you this is how you have to conduct yourself as a man is forced. So when you talk about forced monogamy versus the option requires more responsibility than being in a monogamous situation that was forced. But a lot of y'all think it's the other way around. When you have the option, it requires more responsibility. And this is one of the reasons why I believe this lie about monogamy being biblical and that one man to one woman is biblical. Again, whatever your choice is, that's your business. Whatever the reason for your union is, that's your business. But this idea that one man to one wife it came from God is a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. It is. And biologically, it is a lie biologically. And I can talk about that in a minute too. But you would think that monogamy forces somebody to be responsible, but actually it does the other thing. It gives them more wiggle room to be irresponsible. Because now it isn't a man's nature. A man is wired. I'm gonna come back to that, y'all. I'm gonna come back to that. But let me tell you something. When you know, and let me deal with this. This is why I think this was institutionalized. When a man knows that he has to have the bankroll to be able to support a family, he is going to first go out and get what he needs to be able to be a husband and extend his family and build a kingdom, to be a real king. He's going to do that up front. But when you're in a situation of forced monogamy, then he don't necessarily have to go out there and get what he needs up front. He can go and there is less desire to run around, if you will, when you have the option to choose to protect and provide for as many women as you want. There's more responsibility there, so there's less desire to, well, man, why do I want to go? Man, I gotta work doubly hard now to go I gotta go talk to her daddy. If I want her hand in marriage, I gotta go talk to her daddy. And first thing her daddy gonna ask me is how much money I make. He gonna ask me how How he gonna sit down and talk to me and say, how are you gonna support my daughter? He's gonna want to talk to me about my family. What kind of stock do I come from? That's how the ancients did it. If I wanted to marry any one of y'all women in this chat room right now or in this live stream, I would have to go and talk to your daddy. And then your daddy gonna want to know my family. And I'm not even talking about, you know what? Let me jump ahead. Y'all. Oh, I'm tempted to know. I'm gonna stay on course. Let me stay on course. It is forced monogamy actually lends to more irresponsibility than polygyny does. Polygyny requires a lot more responsibility. She said, have you ever heard of Partha? I knew somebody's going to come. I was ready. I knew somebody was coming with a hot shot. I'm going to deal with that in a minute, too. You know what? I'm going to deal with that right now. I'm going to say, for argument's sake, let's say parthenogenesis. Let's say the DNA rays from the sun upgrade everybody's, or let's say the cosmic radiation from the sun upgrades everybody's DNA overnight. And now the woman can say, hey, you know what? I can, through parthenogenesis, create a child of my own, or fertilize myself, or just basically start selfishing and produce an offspring from one of the eggs I got in my belly on my own, or in my ovary on my own. I don't need a man to inseminate me. Guess what? You still got to go through that 9-month process. Number two, guess what? If you don't have a protector and a provider, are you going to protect yourself at 8 months pregnant? If somebody want to come in there and do God knows what? See, listen, all of these arguments came from, let me get back. Yes, you are absolutely correct. If parthenogenesis were reactivated in the earth today, there is a reason why men and women were put together in this physical realm. This is good, y'all. This is good. Sandy said, you're right, that movie was scary. Yo, Sandy, I'm doing a whole breakdown of that movie on Sunday, and I'm going to do that on live, so I hope y'all are here. For that. All right, so let me get back on my notes. That was a great point, Hotshot. She said, we are saying that's how you probably got here. I'm not sure about that, Hotshot. I'm not sure about that. Oh, you mean from the very beginning? It's possible. Listen, I don't know. But I'm here to tell you that's not how anybody's getting here right now. Okay? So this is good. Let me keep going. Now, it is the man's divine right to father as many children as he desires, but with that right comes the divine responsibility of conducting himself responsibility. Notice I said divine twice, which means treating any woman or women who mother his children with the utmost respect, as well as not producing any children that he either has no ability or desire to teach, protect, or provide for. Do we not see a lot of that going on right now? We got a lot of dudes up there. Nah, man, you know, my pullout game is tight, yo. My pullout game is fire, man. I'm 35 and old, man. No slip ups. Till you get one, or till you get that one. It's like, man, dog, man, this shit was too good. I couldn't get out, dog. We having a grown up conversation tonight, right? There's plenty of dudes out there. Oh, you better go get a pregnancy test. That ain't mine. Who you messing with on the side? Irresponsible. Producing children that he has no ability, ain't got no job, I was flipping through the channels the other day, Judge, whatever her name is. She had a dude talking to a dude. He got 2 daughters, 2 children 6 months apart by 2 different moms and no job. She said they be lying. Of course they be lying. But listen, we ain't gonna put it all on the men now. We listen, we gonna do this thing right here tonight, y'all. Because y'all be fronting, y'all be tripping like somebody took it. When y'all be wanting it just as bad sometimes, if not badder. Let's have a real conversation here, right? Let me keep going. So, where was I? Okay. So we're talking about the irresponsibility that comes, or the divine responsibility to act responsibly if you're going to go that route, okay? And that whether you go that route or not, it should be you. But listen, if you ain't got nobody schooling you, this is why we got to have these conversations, y'all. We are backtracking, fixing stuff that was broken by the system a long time ago. When the families got broken, all of this happened. When that siege of the Americas by the Europeans happened and families start getting busted up, these are the things that happen. Irresponsibility. We gotta fix the stuff that was broken, y'all. We waiting for somebody else to fix it. We got to do the work. We have to do the work. Okay. Next, by nature, men are not nurturers, and yet somehow modern society has attempted to turn men into a hybrid protector, provider, nurturer. That's part of the problem right there. Modern society has tried to make men something that they're not, which is nurturers. Let me keep going. Marriage has historically been a goal-based union, historically speaking. But the problem today is that modern society has made it an emotion-based union, which is why so many Western marriages flounder. What did I say in a live with Anya the other night? The moon sign, the moon is the ruler of the emotions. The moon is the celestial body that is the ruler of the emotions. And the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So your mood is going to fluctuate with the moon cycles. I don't care who you are, male or female. Dudes try to act like they're not affected by the moon. And what do women say to dudes all the time? Your cycle on? I've heard that. I've had it said to me. Like, whoa, who you talking to? But it's like we don't know this stuff because we're not taught. We're taught that astrology is evil. So the very thing we should be learning in school, we're not learning because we're taught it was evil. And it is when you understand the astrological movements and the energies, you understand yourself because you're made up of those same energies. Let me keep going. Appreciate that, Sandy. Sandy said facts. Let me see. Okay. So Western modern society has made it about an emotion-based union, which is why so many marriages fail. Man, I don't like her. Man, that woman, get on my nerve. I don't like her no more. We'll come back to that. At the end of the day, if for no other reason, such as producing offspring, if a man meets a woman whose presence helps him vibrate high and his presence does the same for her, let them come together in union for the purpose of being each other's peace, as well as being each other's path to their highest and best selves. How about that? How about that? What if they don't want to produce offspring? What if it's just that, hey, you know what, man? For some reason, this person's presence helps me to vibrate high, man. I'm just calm when I'm in this person's presence. I feel like I'm my best version of me. Something about this person brings out the best in me. That's reason enough alone. But again, that is up to the individuals. Who is another person's opinion? Did y'all see that video I did where I talked about the girl who went around the nursing homes and interviewed all of the elderly people that were, old or dying or whatever, and pretty much they all pretty much said the same thing when she asked the question, if you could go back and do one thing different, what would you do? And they all said, I would have been the person I wanted to be if I wasn't worried about what somebody was going to say or think about me. That's real. Your opinion of me does not dictate who I am or who I'm going to be. My opinion of you should not dictate that either. Do you? All right. Next point. In any case, what we need to realize is that the old controllers of this world have flipped the script on all of us and made marriage about the woman, when the truth is it takes a man asking a woman's father, or in modern times, asking the woman herself for her hand. We've been brainwashed again. We've been brainwashed. What do they always show you in the ads? The wedding gowns and the rings and all this stuff. And yet and still, the so-called black woman is the least married woman in Western demographics, period. Now, I'm not talking about on the African continent. That's a no-brainer. I'm talking about in the westernized countries, the United States, Europe, okay? It's the so-called black woman. God bless my sister, man. She's like, I don't want to talk about my family, man, but my sister's never been married. And she's still hoping, well, maybe one day God will bless me with a husband. That shouldn't be. But again, society's got y'all tricked thinking it's about y'all when there can be no marriage or no union and kingdom building without that man initiating it. And parthenogenesis aside, there can be no creation of a child without that divine spark. Now, but on the flip side, a man can't create a child without having, y'all, I'm gonna come back to that. We need each other. We need each other, okay? Bump the labels. Get rid of the labels. Get rid of the labels. The labels is part of the problem. Get rid of the word marriage. Get rid of the word monogamy. Get rid of the word polygyny. Get rid of those words. The labels is what got everybody effed up right now. It's the labels. He married to 3 women. That's his damn business. That's their business. Are they good with it? Why the hell you care if they good with it? If you don't want to be married to a dude that want to marry, got other women, then don't. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's a girl, Jasmine. Is it Jasmine Brown? Her Instagram is Watch Jazzy. She said I've been following her for years. She not only is she dope looking, she's fine, but she is funny. Her little skits are so funny. I've been following her for years. But she's pregnant with Cam Newton's baby, about to have his baby. And she was doing a stand-up the other night, and she said something to the effect. She said, yeah, all y'all talking about, that wouldn't be me. Cam got 2 other baby mamas, whatever. Girl, you. She said, have you ever had a rich put that pressure on you? She said, all y'all always be talking about what y'all gonna do to a dude that can change your life for his ends, come up and tell you how much he like you and he want to be with you. She said that'll make you shut your lip real quick. I was like, well, drop the mic. Drop the mic. Hotshot said, I don't believe in marriage, in a marriage certificate regarding this system. I don't believe in living with another woman, sharing a man under my same roof. I can't do that. I will need my own place. Hotshot, we talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. But again, now, if I were to do that, see, the way this thing is, if you look at look at, there's a video out there where this lady from France or somewhere, she went and lived in a Maasai village and ultimately married a Maasai man in Tanzania. And she was interviewing the women, and the one guy, the chief of the village or whatever, he had like 3 wives or something. And one of the questions she asked them, she said, why do you, now they each had their own hut. They each had their own hut. So already he was illustrating how you're doing this. This is how you're supposed to do it. Listen, if I died and came back a woman, I wouldn't want to share space with. Listen, y'all need to understand something. A real dude don't want to be under a roof with 3 women. Not a real dude don't want to be under the roof with 2 women. 2 women. Listen, real dudes can't wait till they turn 17 or 18 so they can graduate high school and get out from under their mama, living there with their mom and their sister, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, Hotshot, you saying the same thing that most guys thinking too. A real boss that would engage in that type of union for whatever reason they're doing. Kingdom building, Nick Cannon. Now, we ain't even talking about the financial aspect of it. I do believe there's some tax rule or something that says once you reach a certain threshold of children that you have fathered, then you don't have to pay taxes or something like that. There's like a tax threshold once you hit a number of children. That's like the number of children for that dude right there. Well, guess what? Listen. Okay, but nobody talks about the economics of it. Everybody wants to talk about the religious and the moral aspect of it. Whose morals? Whose religion? I'm gonna come to that. Okay. Sandy said, you sound like my son. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, Sandy. There's a reason why this is a trending topic. It's an awakening that's happening. Let's see. Now, next point. Let's see. Old controls of society. What did I say? Okay. If the man, okay, back to my point. It takes a man asking a woman's father, or in modern times, asking a woman herself for her hand. If the man does not seek a partner to join him for some purpose to be fulfilled in this earth, there is no union formed. Bees seek flowers to pollinate. Flowers don't float around seeking bees. I'm coming to your neighborhood now, Hotshot. I'm coming to your neighborhood. Bees, masculine, seek flowers, feminine, to pollinate. Flowers don't float around seeking bees. The flower's process is to attract the bee. And once that flower has been pollinated, no other bee can pollinate it. That's nature. That's nature. Once that feminine flower has been pollinated by that masculine bee, no other bee. Matter of fact, a bee will come. Y'all see how these bees work? They go and hit that flower. Nope, that one's been pollinated. Oh, that one that hasn't been pollinated. It'll go in there and pollinate it. Do flowers walk around saying, hey, come pollinate me? Pollinate me. No. Flowers have a natural process. They give off a certain odor. They give off a fragrance. They're alluring to attract that bee. And that bee says, I want to go see if that flower's been pollinated. Let me keep going. Let us remember the foundation of any structure is masculine. That's the root chakra, okay? And that a foundation with no structure on it is simply an empty support structure waiting for a home to be built on it. What did I just say? This is a team. The foundation of any home, the foundation of any structure is masculine. That's the root chakra. The foundation is always masculine. It carries the weight. It carries the load. But what good is a foundation without a house on it? right? The house is the feminine. Okay? If that foundation is the man, the home that sits on it is the combined and intertwined masculine and feminine energies. A foundation without a home is nothing, and a home without a foundation to support it will cease to exist. In fact, it doesn't exist. You cannot have a home that's not sitting on a foundation. We are one. We are one. We are one. Okay? So now I talked about the intertwining. You got the root chakra here, masculine. You got the sacral chakra here, feminine. You got the solar plexus chakra here, masculine. The heart chakra here, feminine. The throat chakra here, masculine. The third eye chakra here, feminine. Okay? That's how that works. And then the crown chakra at the top is neutral. That's your connection to God. The funny thing is that root chakra, which is masculine, is the closest thing to the ground. But so the root chakra is the closest thing to the earth. It's rooted in the earth for strength and stability. But guess what? That third eye chakra, which is the highest feminine chakra, is the closest thing to the crown. So that spiritual third eye chakra is the closest thing to God. This is why you got to have that union. That man is the support of the structure, but the woman is the closest thing to God. And yeah, you got godly men out there. And yes, men have feminine energy and masculine energy. And yes, women have feminine energy and masculine energy. But that woman is the closest thing to God. That man is the closest thing to the earth. This is why people wonder why people wonder about the mystery of why women have a higher pain tolerance than men. Men are real tough. We big, we strong, but women can take more pain. You know why? Because pain tolerance is spiritual. Nobody ever talks about that. Pain tolerance is not physical. It's actually spiritual. It's spiritual. This is why women can take twice or 3 times or 4 times as much pain as men. Y'all package that. Y'all package that when you hear the brothers talking about how tough they are physically. Package that for them, okay? I'm about equality, y'all. I'm about equality. But some of y'all think that it's not equal. Why can the question was asked, well, why can a man have more than one wife and not the other way around? We're going to talk about that in a minute, okay? Let's see. All right, so let us also remember that the combining of masculine and feminine energies without a stated and shared goal is little more than friends with benefits. Will you marry me? Yes. Oh my God, he gave me a ring. And dudes, she said yes. What are y'all gonna do? Oh, well, man, I want to marry her, man, because she's beautiful. And I love her, man. She's beautiful, man. I want to marry her, man. She's got a great body. She's fine, man. Hourglass. 2 kids later, you know, maybe some knee injuries or whatever. Maybe she's an athlete, knee injury. She ain't getting around as much no more. She done gone from a size 6 to a size 14. Dude, man, my God, man, my wife, man, oh my God, man, she's freaking huge, man. Man, God. Hey, man, hey, what about that new girl, Susan, man? Man, she's hot, isn't she? Hey, man, I thought you said you loved her. Oh, I did, man, but she's not taking care of herself anymore. You didn't state a goal. You did not state a goal. Because when you state a goal, the package doesn't matter then. The package doesn't matter. The package doesn't matter. What about, girl, he done lost his job, girl. He can't find no job, girl. Girl, I need things, girl. Girl, me and the girls want to go on a trip, girl. I can't, girl. Yeah, I do work, girl, but look here. Girl, I don't want to be spending all my money on the trip and then helping pay these bills around here, girl. He mad at me, girl. Look, I can't have no broke man, girl. Y'all seen Ray Ray, girl? I seen him over there cutting his grass without his shirt on, girl. Hey, Ray Ray, you look hot. I brought you a pitcher of water, Ray Ray. You didn't state a goal. You didn't state a goal. You didn't state a goal. You got married over something frivolous. She said yes. Yes, a ring. What Chad Ochocinco say? Y'all, please. Let me keep going, y'all. Let me keep going. All right. Let's see where were let us also remember the combining of masculine and feminine energies without a stated and shared goal. A stated and shared goal. It's got to be a shared goal. It's got to be something they both agree to. It's got to be a shared goal. They got to talk about that. Nobody talks about it. People date. I like him. She like me. Will you marry me? What do y'all want to do together? Listen, I'm gonna skip ahead. Listen, do you know there's some divine math you can do with regards to your life path number to see what the union of you and that other person is going to look like astrologically? Oh man, it'll shock you. It'll shock you. See, people don't run their numbers. This is why I always come back to astrology. This is why I always come back to knowing your life path number. You combine. I'm gonna show y'all how to do that math at the end. I didn't put this in my notes, but I'm gonna show y'all how to do that. There's another thing you can do with natal charts called doing a composite, where you take an overlay of your natal chart placements with the other person's natal chart placements, and it'll tell you what the astrology of that relationship is, and you'll find out if that's going to be a harmonious union and what the goal of that union would be versus if you needed to run for the hills. Man, but you seen Shorty, man, Shorty calves, man, yo, the way she wear them heels, son, Man, this woman crazy, man. Man, look here, man, I'm about to get divorced, man. Man, this woman crazy here, dog. Man, she crazy, man. She done slapped my tie, man. Man, look here, man. Man, look here. Don't go by them look, man. Man, she crazy, dog. And man, that woman crazy hell, man. Man, she said no male Geminis. Janice, what's your sign? I'm gonna find your sign. Gonna tell me why you don't like Geminis. What's your sign? Type it in the chat. I'm gonna tell you why. It's somebody for everybody. She said no male Geminis. See, I thought I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want to offend none of my. Yeah, there's a couple of signs as a Capricorn. Well, there's your problem right there. There's a problem right there. You mixing earth with air, and I'll come back to that. There's some other placements that could offset that, but you probably got some other stuff going on there too. This is why people got to know their natal chart astrology. There's way more than your sun sign. There's way more than your sun. You got a moon, you got a rising, you got a Mercury, which is huge in a relationship. You got a Venus, which is huge in a relationship. You got a Mars, which is huge in a relationship. There's something else called the Juno placement. Do you know your Juno placement can tell you what your ideal mate's gonna look like? Y'all need to talk to me, man. Y'all need to talk to me, man. We're gonna figure this out, y'all. Do you know the ancients, when they were doing these arranged marriages, you know there's a reason why a lot of these arranged marriages lasted for the whole lifetime? It's because those parents understood astrology. So they put these people together on paper, lining up their energies to see what the compatibilities were. And it hits the nail on the head. Anyway, I'm gonna come back because some of us don't need to know that, because some of us have karmic lessons that we got to go through. So sometimes we ain't supposed to know what that other person's astrology is because there's some past life baggage that we got to clean up. That's a story for another day. Okay. Where was I? Let me see. Friends with benefits. At the end of the day, let's put away the labels. The role of a so-called husband is to protect and provide for the field that bears the fruit of the seed he has planted in it, as well as to be the co-teacher of the offspring. The co-teacher of the offspring. Some people make the baby, then they leave everything on the mama. No, you got a job to do too. You got life lessons that those children can benefit from. Again, unless you're just ignorant. And I got respect for the people who know they're ignorant. They're like, man, look, I don't need to be making no kids, man. I got respect for those people. Anyway, let me see. The role of the so-called wife is to energize her family, her so-called husband, and their children with her spiritual powers of love, wisdom, and creativity, as well as to be the co-teacher of their offspring. So when you understand these roles, when you understand masculine energy, when you understand as a man that your masculine energy is far more powerful and pronounced in you than the masculine energy in a woman, or at least it should be. When you understand that as a woman, your feminine energy is far more pronounced and powerful in you than it would be in that man, or at least it should be. Then, and you start to understand what the purposes of those energy zones are, then you can come together and figure out how you're going to co-create both children and businesses, enterprises, whatever have you. Okay, let me keep going. Jenny said that makes sense. Thank you. So there are no universal laws by which a man is bound to producing with, protecting, and providing for only one woman. He is, however, bound by his own promises. He should therefore choose his words and actions wisely. Let me read that again, y'all. There are no universal laws by which a man is bound to producing with, protecting, and providing for only one woman. If there is, y'all show me. I'm gonna show y'all the first universal law that proves that can't possibly be the case. If a man were only supposed to produce offspring with one woman, guess what? There would be some magical synchronistic energetic connection between the two of them when they come into physical union the first time, such that when that woman becomes pregnant, that man's fertility shuts off for those 9 months as well. A woman ovulates once a month, okay? And I believe there's a 2 to 3 day period or something in there I read where she can be impregnated or so. I'm not an expert on y'all bodies. Y'all can drop that in the chat. But I do know that once a month a woman ovulates, okay? After that, she and then well, let me just say, I mean, God, I don't want to talk about that other y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't like to talk about women's stuff or whatever. But there's a window during each month that a woman is able to become pregnant, okay? At the same time, or conversely speaking, a man is shooting hot rounds once a day. A man got live bullets in that gun once a day. Once a day, he got live bullets, okay? Once some live bullets are spent in one salvo, and the other bullets are not live. I mean, they might have 1 or 2 in there, but most of them are not live after that first salvo, okay? Maybe the second salvo, but then after that, he's done for 24-hour period. But 24 hours later, he's ready to go again. Who designed that? Did not the creator design that? Why? Why wouldn't the creator? Why is it that when a woman's 30 to 40 years of being able to produce offspring expire, a man can keep going? Y'all need to ask some questions there. We need to break these spells and get rid of these erroneous expectations, because it's the erroneous expectations that have people in these relationships all fouled up. Okay. And I'm gonna play a video for y'all before I get off of here. Now, there are no universal laws by which a man is bound to producing with, protecting, and providing for one woman. Y'all need to remember these roles. Okay. We need to remember these. There's no universal laws that bind a man to producing, protecting, and providing for only one woman. Okay? There are no universal laws. But he is bound by his own promises. So what happens? What do I mean by that? What happens is men mess up when they start lying. Why do men lie? Men lie because, well, they're in a system that someone who is not them forced upon them and said, you can only be married to one woman. So they lie because they biologically desire more than one. A lot of men do. They biologically desire more than one and are biologically wired to replenish the earth. But they don't want to disappoint this person over here, and they don't want to break any rules, so they lie. Oh, it's only you, babe. It's only you. Yeah. Hello, who is this? Let me stop with the skits, y'all. I've seen enough of them on Instagram and these other social media platforms that are funny. But that's my point. The reason why these dudes are lying is because they've had a system of change placed upon them. So they act irresponsibly because they've been told to go against their nature. Now, when you remove those restrictions and say, hey, yeah, you're free to act in your nature, but you're going to do it the right way. Now they got to go boss up. See, but high society can't have a bunch of what is supposed to be working class people bossing up and becoming kings. Because you tell a dude, you tell a brother, he got to boss up and then he can build a kingdom, guess what? You ain't gonna be no JP Morgan Chases, okay? It's gonna be some Matt D. Talfords. It's going, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is regular working class dudes is gonna be at that level because they're gonna go and earn what they need to earn to live that lifestyle that they need to support what it is that they came here to do or what they're trying to accomplish, which is kingdom building. You see what I'm saying? So they got to put a rule on you that says you can only have one because they can on the flip side monetize you now. We know he gonna mess that up. We gave him a rule that goes against his nature. When he goes against his nature, we got him. And when we got him, we got them. Now we done busted up the whole family by one little rule that forces them to go against their nature. We done busted up the whole structure. We done killed the whole nation. We done destroyed the whole nation's ability. Man, y'all better know who y'all were in history. Y'all better know who. Hey, listen, if those of y'all that follow me on Instagram, look at my story. Look at my story and look at that little snippet I put up there about Mansa Musa, who was the richest man in history. I promise you, Mansa Musa had more than one wife. Promise you that. That man had a whole empire. Y'all, when you listen to these rules, you don't even realize who the real enemy is. But I'm gonna come to that because I'm getting through this list here. All right, polygyny, polygamy, monogamy, labels. Okay, it's all a corporate partnership. That's all it is. Who cares about the label? Why do you care what somebody else is doing? And to that question, well, why can you know what? Try to have more than one husband and see if that works out for you. If it works out for you, great. I'm not here to put no rule on you. If you can have more than one husband and you got 2 and 3 dudes that say I'm her husband, all 3 of them, who getting the cookie when one of them impregnates you? Or are we creating a system of energetic confusion now? What's that doing? I don't want to get too graphic. But do you, if you can make it work. But women say they want that strong alpha or that strong sigma. But then on the flip side, they want a beta. They want them to act like a beta male. Who want a woman? Man, look here. I'm gonna get to this partnership thing because I got people in my family, elders abroad in my family that have this archaic idea of a woman being obedient to them. I'm like, who's going to sign up for that? Like, why would you even put that? Like, who's going to sign up for that? Who's going to sign up for the? I'm like, if you want obedience, go get a dog. See, this is what people get out of their head. They allow somebody else to impose a system upon them that is not them. They allow somebody else to write rules for them that don't work for them when you should be writing your own rules. And then you get mad when the ish fall apart. Jenny said, yeah, but women want their man to themselves, though. We don't want to have to share. Okay, that's a fair point. But there are a lot of women that are sharing and don't even know it. There are a lot of women that are sharing that don't even know it. Like I said, half of all marriages in half of all Western marriages fail. The other half, they making it work. The other half, I would say of that other half, 25% of them other half, they're tolerating being there because 1, they don't want to be by themselves, or 2, they don't want somebody talking about them or whatever. And then maybe 25% of them is just rock solid. But in a lot of cases, the women are sharing their men and don't know it. Not all of them. But I'm just saying. So if I'm a female, and look, because I'm a man and I know how men are, not me. I'm not sitting here trying to big up myself. I just have a certain standard that I set for myself a very long time ago, and that standard was real simple. I'm not easy. I've seen. Listen, man, if I could give y'all the scorecard of how many I've taken great pleasure in disappointing people that thought that they were 29-0 on whatever dude they wanted, and they ran up on me, and then they caught their first L. You know what? I'm very flattered. I'm very flattered you feel that way. Thank you. No, I'm flattered. Thank you. And they took their first L. I'm keeping it 100. I prided myself on that because I'm like, you know what, man? I used to argue with dudes. I'd be like, man, you that easy, bro? Man, easy. I got her. Nah, bro, she got you. She got you, bro. Well, I got something out of it too. All right, well, y'all play that game, man. I'm not interested in that. I'm not. So, I mean, everybody's different. To each his own. I don't judge nobody. I mean, to each his own. We all come here to do what we do. I don't expect anybody to behave like me, but I got a certain standard I hold myself to. But I'm here to tell you, there's a lot that don't. There's a lot that have looked at some of the stuff I turned down and been like, man, you a real one, bro. You a real one. That's a 10. I ain't walking away from no 10. You know what? Bro, you knock down a 10 in one way, I'm going to knock them down another one. I want to crush their ego. I want to crush their ego. I want to let it. And listen, y'all, I'll share this as a personal story with y'all. I had an offer one year on a business trip. Okay. It wasn't new and it wasn't the only time it's ever happened. But I had an offer on a business trip. And the girl, she said to me that she called, she worked at the same company. She said to me the next day, she called me up. And I flew out of town to go there. I'll say the city. I flew to Seattle. Okay. And the next day she called me and she said, you know what? Look my number up in the company directory. Call me. She said, you know what? She said, I ain't never met nobody like you. She said, I intentionally got tipsy and got a little loose with my tongue and just telling you what I wanted to do and inviting you over and all of this stuff. And she said, most guys would have jumped on that. She said, I ain't never met nobody like you. She said, why did you do it? I said, you know why? I said, you know why I did it? Because I said, I wanted you to see that if you should ever decide that you want to be a spouse, that there are actually guys out there that ain't jumping at the first hook with a worm on it that they see. Okay. I wanted you to know that it's some guys out there that don't go for everything that's offered to them. I said, that's why I did that. So I said, hopefully you can take that with you and it'll help you to make a decision that may keep you from being heartbroken later in your life. That's a true story. That's a true story. And she never forgot that. But she tried one more time. She said, if you ever change your mind, you got my number. That was the funniest thing ever, y'all. But yeah. And I thank you, Sandy. But that's just who I am. I'm just being who I am. I'm not saying that, I mean, obviously, this is getting back to scripture a little bit. There's a scripture that says that God won't put any more on you than you can bear. I mean, there's certain situations he wasn't going to land me. Listen, that same year, I could have told her no if freaking Halle Berry or Tyra Banks had rolled up in the elevator 5 minutes after I told her no and be like, what's good? I'd have been like, So he ain't going to put any more you could bear. I'm just keeping it 100, y'all. I'm keeping it 100. Now, today in 2023, I mean, I know enough about astrology to know that I don't need that headache. I done already looked at both of their birth charts. We're not compatible. I don't even want that headache. But this is why y'all got to learn some personal astrology. But let me get back to my notes here, y'all, so we can finish up here. It's a corporate partnership, y'all. That's what it is. Fellas, stand in your divine masculine power and authority, then behave responsibly with respect to the universal laws of karma. Tell no lies to your partner. Be forthcoming about who you are and what your intent is. That's really what it's about at the end of the day, y'all. You can do what you want to do. Just don't lie. Don't lie. If this is who you are, I have coached, not coached professionally, but mentored guys younger than me who are out there in the dating scene and telling me about their problems. I said, man, you know what your number one problem is? You are juggling these women because you lying to them. I said, I promise you there's some women that's game for playing their position if that's what you want. You just can't lie to them. And you got to be willing, when you lead with fear and you're like, well, man, if I told her what I was really about, she might tell me no. Then let her tell you no. But guess what? I promise you, 50% of them that would tell you no might think about it and be like, well, damn, he was honest with me. Psh, man, I ain't dating nobody. Maybe, I mean, what's wrong with having a little fun? He ain't serious. He ain't in no serious commitment with her. I say, y'all stop lying to these girls, man. That's the number one. Tell no lies. And same for y'all women. Don't lie. Just be, listen, the truth always wins. The truth always wins, and the truth is always eventually discovered. So don't lie. That's all I'm saying. All right? Tell no lies. All right? Be forthcoming about who you are and what your intent is. That's to the fellas. To the ladies, stand in your divine feminine power and intuition, then behave responsibly with respect to the universal laws of karma. Tell no lies. And when I say tell no lies, of course, tell no lies to the guys, but primarily Tell no lies to yourself about who the person is that you're dealing with. I'm going to say that again. Tell no lies, ladies, to yourself about who the person is that you're dealing with. If your intuition tells you he's solid, don't talk yourself out of him. And we see a lot of that. We see a lot of women talking themselves out of guys that are solid. Their intuition tells them that's a good dude, but they talk themselves out of him. Okay. And then on the flip side, if your intuition is telling you he's suspect, don't talk yourself into him. We see that too. Remember, wisdom is a feminine energy which will only abide with you for as long as you take heed to her advice. When you stop listening to her, she departs from you to let you fall on your face. Don't believe me? Look no further than King Solomon. I am wise. What does the Spirit say? What does the Spirit of wisdom tell him? Don't mess with these foreign, strange women. They're going to turn your heart against me. You can have whomever you want among the daughters of Israel, however many you want among the daughters of Israel. Leave these foreign women alone. They worship strange gods. They got wicked practices. If you deal with them, I know they look good. They're supposed to. If you deal with them, they're going to turn your heart against me. Nah, I'm wise. I ain't going to do it. Dummy. The Spirit of wisdom told you not to do it. That's Solomon. What he ended up doing? Some everything. Anyway, last point here before I get into the meat and get out of here. Get the church and local government out of these unions. If society fell, and I talked about this earlier, men and women would still come together to form unions of families. So why does someone need permission from daddy state coming in the form of a marriage license? Hotshot talked about that earlier. That's one of the biggest problems with so-called marriage. The state and the church is in it. But now I'm about to bust y'all upside the head. Okay. The reason why over half of all marriages in America fail. It's religion versus spirituality. Let's talk, y'all. Come talk to me. What have I been talking about on this channel for the last 2 years? I've been contrasting religion with spirituality. I've been telling y'all over and over that the Bible and the ancient texts from which it was derived are not religious. They are spiritual in nature. The religious establishment took them over and fashioned them into the doctrine of control. So if you're talking about a union that's based in the church is a wicked, corrupt establishment. The church, as we know it, was not established by God. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, what church did you come from in the sky before you were born? What denomination is the Most High? What denomination are the angels? I'll wait. What denomination are your ancestors who are going on now? You see these psychological operations they put on us? You are talking about an institution that is established institution of marriage is established and put forth by a corrupt institution. So how can marriage, all right, do y'all see now? Do y'all see now why marriage is so difficult? Get the church and the state out of marriage. A spiritual union will look a lot different than a religious union. A bunch of us talking about we spiritual, but we in these religious unions. Why does a Catholic have to go to the Catholic church to get married? Why does the Seventh-day Adventist have to go to why does a Jehovah's Witness got to go to the Kingdom Hall to get married? See what I'm saying? Why does someone have to that is a religious or an atheist have to go to a justice of the peace to get married? If the sky falls tomorrow and one of y'all, a dude come up to you and say, hey, listen, who's protecting you? Yo, you beautiful queen. Who's protecting you? Oh, you smart too? Man, we would produce some great children. Who's protecting you? Who's providing for you right now? Oh, you by yourself? Listen, you might not want to be by yourself out here. There's some crazy dudes out here just taking it from women. There's a scripture that says, what is it? One of y'all put this in the chat. I think it's in Zephaniah or Zechariah something. 7 women will take hold of one man. Some people say that happened already. I'm here to tell you that is metaphoric. Yes, that has happened, but it's metaphoric because it always happens. Whenever society falls, the biggest target is women. I did a video some years ago saying the 3 most valuable things, the 3 things on earth that have only the 3 things on earth that are the things that only, how did I say that? The 3 things of real value on earth. Let me just say that because I don't remember the title. These are the only 3 things that have real value in this order. Number 1 is land. Number 1 is land. Land is the most valuable resource on earth. Don't let nobody tell you different. If you got land, you got a fresh water source, you got the ability to grow food, you got the ability to get shelter, all of that. You got land, you got that. Okay? The number 2 most valuable resource, manpower. When I say manpower, I'm talking male manpower. Why? Because it takes manpower to seize land. It takes manpower to defend land. It takes manpower to work land. Okay? It takes manpower to discover new land. That's manpower. So you need men. And the third most valuable resource, women. Why? Because it takes women to reproduce manpower. You got no women, you run out of men. All the rest of this stuff is frivolous. Cars, money, all of that stuff is frivolous. You don't need any of that. If you got fertile land, you don't need any of that other stuff. You don't. That's true. That's a true statement. Why are there these wars and stuff in the Congo? Because of the stuff that's underneath the soil. Those precious minerals, rare earth elements. Land is the number 1 most valuable resource. Why do they not kill all of the people when they take over a land? Because they need somebody to work it and they don't want to work it. So what do? They enslave them. Don't let them tell you all these lies about these Americas that every black person over here was descended from somebody that came across on a slave ship. Shit was probably right. That was a small fraction. The greater number was already over here. Through conquest, these tribes that were already here, these copper-colored tribes that were already here, were rebranded. They just took everybody and rebranded them as Negro, which is basically the Latin form of black. What I tell you, black means nothing in terms of land or land of origin and language. There's no language called black. There's no land of origin called black land. So land is the number 1 resource. Manpower is the number 2. This is why they capture men and put them to work. And then 3, this is why they kidnap Alexander the Great or whatever. Well, nothing great about him in my opinion, but the reason why you got so many mixed up looking people in the Middle East, he would tell his generals, his officers, all these people, when he conquered these lands and killed the men, he'd tell them to go take as many of the women as you want and impregnate them. Why? Because now you got seed in this land. These children are now yours. These children are not going to rise up against their fathers. And so they would rape the women and impregnate them. But y'all go on with this whole warrior king narrative, warrior queen narrative and all of that, thinking like, anyway, religion versus spirituality, spiritual unions. Let me tell you something else. What do they say at the end of these marriages? By the power invested in me by the state of blase, blase, blah, I now pronounce you man and wife. May God, whom God has put together, let no man put asunder. You may now kiss the bride, or you may now salute your bride. Whom God has put together, let no man put asunder. Well, how come 50% of them get put asunder? It's because God didn't put them together. The whole pastor or priest or rabbi or whatever, imam, whatever, marrying them, that wasn't God putting them unions together. A real divine union is created in the heavens. And when 2 divine partners meet each other, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Those are the 2 that whom God put together can no man put asunder. If God put together a divine union, no man can put them asunder. Not even them. Not even them. I've heard the stories. I've heard the stories of man, don't even get me started. Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back, telling me I need you in my life. Every time I go, something keeps pulling me back, telling me that everything's good. Y'all make me nervous, man, because I don't mess up words this bad. I really don't. Anyway, a spiritual union is everlasting. It is. A religious union, it 50-50. And that's what we see. Whom God has put together, let no man put asunder. You know what? There's a passage of scripture. There's a passage of scripture from Proverbs. What is it? He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord. Where is that? Right here. Y'all, I ain't brought this up all night here. Let me do this real quick. I know Anya be like, where am I dude at? I got to finish this up, y'all. Proverbs 18:22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. I'm going to say that's a bad translation. Why? Because is God going to show favor to a man that finds a wife and then he beats her for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Is God going to show favor to a man who finds a wife and then lies to her about everything he does, all his whereabouts, just lies? How is he obtaining favor from the Lord? That's a bad translation. I think that should probably read, whoso or whatever righteous man findeth a good wife, for whoso is righteous, or whatever righteous man finds a righteous wife, finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Where's that favor coming in from? Where's that favor coming in for? It is coming in because you got stuff to do. God gonna bless that union. He wants those offspring. If that is a true divine union, he wants those offspring. So he is going to obtain favor from the Lord. He's going to give him everything he needs to expand that kingdom. Did Jacob not receive favor from the Lord? And yet Jacob had 4 wives. Jacob had 4. I don't even like the term wife. Jacob had 4 women that he protected and provided for. That's better. Jacob had 4 women that he protected and provided for. And they weren't all living under the same roof. That's the problem. That's the other problem with the presentation of polygyny in nowadays. Everything being shown to you is the worst possible application. Who wants to be up on the roof with? They always showing you, like I said with Anya, they always showing you a dude with a wife beater on and some basketball shorts and some calf-high socks and some flip-flops with a do-rag on in a house that is barely 1,200 square feet, and he got 4 wives and then a bunch of kids running around. And he ruling over them and he ain't doing nothing. That's terrible. I don't even know why they even show that, but I know why they show it. Because they don't want it done the right way. The right way is, you know what, man, I'm a boss. You know what? This person right here is good at look at it. I use the example of Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He divorced his first wife, but they still business partners. From a practical standpoint, if you know what a marriage is, which is a corporation, that's still his wife. Functionally speaking, maybe she ain't giving him no nookie no more. You know why she ain't giving him no nookie? Because the rule says, man's rule says, well, you're divorced from her and you're married to her now, and she doesn't want you to have any of her, so you can't. And so now he's like, okay, yes, dear. Well, I don't want to make my wife mad. She might leave me if I. Man, be a man, dude. Be a man. Be a man. And who's to say he ain't? Right? Who's to say he's not? I'm just saying. They still business partners. But she could be married to somebody else, so maybe he's not. If she's married to somebody else now, he's not. But all of this stuff is hodgepodge anyway. Religion versus spirituality. That's the biggest problem. These marriages are based in religion, and religion, I told y'all, is about to go out the door. Organized religion, organized Western religion is about to go out of the door. All of them. It's going down. It's going down. Why? Because religion and spirituality are not mutually exclusive. Or they are mutually exclusive, I should say. They let me keep going so we can get out of here. Most marriages are rooted in religion, whether the individuals are religious or not. Spirituality is based in freedom of the soul to search for and follow its own divine path and purpose. Religion, in contrast, is the doctrine of control and binds its members to lives of service to God through the church institution, service which may put them out of alignment with their own soul's purpose. Men and women are treated like they are personal property, though it's most often the women. So you're looking at these Western Christian marriages, these Jewish marriages or whatever, women are treated like property and men are treated like property too. That's mine. I own it. No, you don't own that. That's a soul. That's a soul that you came here for some joint purpose to fulfill some joint purpose with. That is what people need to start looking for. That's where the rubber meets the road. Okay. All right, family. So I could go on and on with this. I had one video. I want y'all to hear from a sister standpoint. Let me share this one video. And some of y'all may have seen this. Some of you may have not. I don't know. But I'm gonna share this one video, and then I'm gonna jettison up out of here and get ready to holler at my girl Anya. Maybe she still love me. I hope she does. She ain't mad at me. Hopefully she ain't mad at me. Let's see. Okay. Let me open it. That's not what I want. Let's move that a little closer. All right, let's double click that and let's go here and share. Thank y'all for being here tonight. This is about it for me. I'm gonna share this video. If y'all got any final comments or questions, y'all hit me up with them. Here we go. This is from Sister Shahrazad Ali. Some of y'all may have heard of her. I am very impressed with her. She is amazing. What's up, cousin? What's up, Natty? So let's check this out. Here we go.
It's just very serial polygamy and separation polygamy. But our men,
let me back it up. Hang on.
Our men already practice polygamy. It's just serial polygamy and separation polygamy. But our men, as I said, there is no black man on the earth. There's none in the history. There's none in the Bible. The Torah Article 1 that had one woman and loved her his whole life. I try to tell the brothers, let's deal with some reality. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about no man running around after a bunch of women just to have sex. I'm talking about that there are men that genuinely love 1, 2, or 3 women.
Yes.
Okay? And as long as they can take care of our emotional needs, which is all we are crying out for, then we'll accept that. We are so afraid somebody gonna have better sex with him than we have. And it don't even matter. Whatever we bring to the party, that's what he accepts and enjoys. It's not based on that.
That was Sister Shahrazad Ali. I gotta check some of her videos out on I'll type her name in the chat. I think I spelled that right. If not, if you type that in YouTube, it'll still come up. But so to bring it back around as I wrap up, family, the reason why I took that video down was the video that I took down that I did live with Anya's Intuitive a few days ago was the video I recommended and that channel I recommended, which was Outstanding Personal Relationships. This is a Muslim brother that used to be Christian who he converted to Islam for whatever reason. I don't remember the original reason why he said he did. But one of the benefits for him was that Islam told him he can marry up to 4 wives. Now, my question for me personally, again, is about purpose. Why would I want a second one even? Okay. Why would I want a third? Why would I want a fourth? What is my purpose? Obviously, they have built a coaching business that is very lucrative, coaching people in relationships, monogamy or polygyny. And the second wife, I forget what her story was, but the first wife was the only woman he was married to. Then she found out later that he was gone and married this other woman, even though Islam allowed him to have up to 4. She was disappointed that he didn't have that conversation with her. And she felt some type of way about it. And she actually thought about leaving him, but they went through a whole lot of, discussions or whatever, and ended up making it work. And each of these wives has their own house, and all of that's good and all. But again, the energy that he was presenting in this particular video that I watched, I didn't vibe with. Now, to each his own. I'm not knocking the brother. He gets to be who he is. I get to be who I am. But I understood why the spirit told me to look at that video. And what I saw was that here was a brother that was presenting something from a religious standpoint. Y'all know I don't do religion. I don't, because religion is the doctrine of control. Spirituality is the doctrine of freedom. I feel like if this were not based in religion and were based in the energy of freedom, which is spirituality, I think that they probably would have had an even smoother transition and wouldn't have gone through all of those bumps in the road. So, and I want to say, I mean, just his energy came off a little, my wives, and I don't want to look at a woman like she's property. I want to look at her like she's a partner. This is my partner. This is my. I saw Jimmy Smits, who an actor, a Hollywood actor years ago. It shocked me when I was watching an award ceremony. This is over 10 years ago, but he said something to the effect of his life partner. And I was like, that's very interesting. Why is he calling his wife a life partner? And now I understand it. Understand why the Messiah told the disciples that asked him the question about the 7 brothers that died and all married the woman, whatever, after each one, and when they get to heaven and whose wife is it, he was basically like, she don't belong to none of them in the ether. He's like, he said their souls are like the angels. Now there's this other thing called the divine union, which I'm not gonna get into. Y'all can look on my channel. I've done several videos about those. That's something I recently learned about, but that's a story for a different day. These are, when you're dealing with the energy of spirituality, you understand that there is no rule other than universal law. As long as your decisions are in alignment with universal law, there is no karma to play. There's no karma to pay. You have to understand what universal law is. Whatsoever man sows, that will he also reap. That's universal law. Okay, there he who digs a pit will fall, and that's universal law. Don't lie, basic. All these are things that are universal laws. And when you lie, you creating karma instantly when you lie. When you lie, not only do you hurt the person that you lied to or the person you lied on, but you in turn hurt yourself because you got to pay for that lie that you told. So this is why I mentioned in there, don't lie. If you can have a conversation with whomever you will about whatever you will, then that is, whatever y'all do with it is what y'all do with it. But you don't need a state or a church telling you how to conduct yourself in a union. All you need is somebody that's high vibrational that you have a joint stated goal with, that you vibe with. And even if that goal is just, hey, you know what? We help each other to vibrate high. That's goal enough. Maybe you don't want to build a business. Maybe the two of you just make each other your absolute best that you can possibly be. What other stated goal do you need? Hey, you know what? As I journey through life, I want somebody on my side that makes me my highest and best self. That's good enough. That's good enough. But you don't need a church dictating it to you. You don't need a damn pastor dictating it to you. How many times have I read Jeremiah 31 and 33 through 34 to y'all? How many times have I read Luke 17 and 20 through 21? How many times is it written that the kingdom of God is within you? You got to go within to find God. You don't need a pastor telling you who God is. You don't need nobody else telling you who God is. What you do need, if you don't know, is somebody teaching you how to find God by going within. You need a teacher. Hey, how do I get to God? Oh, that's easy. Do this. Not, this is who God is. This is what you need to be doing. When you find God, you know what you need to be doing. When you understand how to interpret your natal chart, you know what you came here to do. When you understand how to interpret your natal chart, you know who you're compatible with. It's that simple. When you know how to read somebody else's natal chart, you know what other kind of crazy stuff they may or may not do. I'm just saying. So I hope y'all got something out of this tonight. Are monogamy or polygyny found in scripture? No, they're not. There's marriage in there. But what is marriage? It's a union of man and woman with a joint purpose, okay? And for those of y'all that get in your feelings because I said man and woman, y'all let that's for y'all to deal with. I'm not touching that. That's for y'all to deal with. All right. So that's all I got, family. Y'all know I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight on a Friday night when you could be doing anything else. Y'all know I'm an award-winning author. You can check out what I've written at www.talfordarts.com and on Amazon Kindle and Apple iBooks. Just type in Matt D. Talford and you'll find my books. So listen, if y'all got any comments, by the way, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. And if y'all got any comments, leave them in the comment box underneath the video. That's all I got tonight, family. If you're new to the channel and you like being inspired, motivated, educated, uplifted, entertained, hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notification bell to all. Listen, I am going to do a video on Leave the World Behind, the Netflix movie. So if y'all want to be a part of that, discussion, that's going to be live on Sunday evening. Y'all watch that movie on Netflix if you have a Netflix account. If you don't, find somebody to watch it with. Thank you, Allie. Thank you, fellow Lincoln owner. Thank you. So now you know you could play old school pimp music in your Lincoln and you right in there, okay, Allie. Anyway, some OJs, okay, or some Teddy Pendergrass or something like that. But Janice said good stuff. Thank you, Janice. Y'all know. Let me say this, y'all, before I get off of here. This is not an easy conversation to have, but breaking chains is never easy. Breaking chains is never easy, and that is exactly what the Messiah tasked the disciples with. The gospel really means God spell, and the God spell is a spell that breaks all the other spells underneath it. So that's what we're supposed to be out here. We're supposed to be out here teaching the God spell. What a spells are words. So when you're talking about the God spell or gospel or God spell is the word of God. It's real simple. They play around with these translations of the Bible, y'all. Y'all got to realize this thing has been translated from like through 4 or 5 or 6 different languages. This original Hebrew, you need the discernment to be able to understand what that is. And I'm gonna do a video tomorrow, y'all. This one won't be live. I shouldn't commit myself to that because it might not come through. I'm gonna try to on Saturday drop a video talking about that very thing, y'all. I got some mind-blowing scriptures, y'all, that's gonna open your eyes about some more spiritual concepts in the scripture that have to deal with you know, understanding and discernment and being able to decipher these scriptures that we have in this day and time. It's so important. It's so important because, again, things that were built, every structure and institution that was built in lies, you're going to see them begin to fall, if not completely fall, in 2024. I talked about that. Y'all go watch my 2024 predictions video. 2024, we're going to see some major flips. If you've been low vibrational and you've been up, you're going down in 2024. If you've been high vibrational, but you've been down, you coming up. It's that 8. It's that 8 energy. 2024 is an 8 year. That's that 8 energy. We're going to see some major flips. We're going to see a lot of births and a lot of deaths. That's Scorpio energy. All right. We're going to see a lot of manifestations. We're seeing it right now. We're seeing a whole lot of stuff still being revealed, y'all. So y'all stay with me. Y'all stay with me. And that's Anya. Hit me up. I got to go, y'all. Listen, I love y'all, man. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You got to show it. Love is a verb. It is a noun as well. But when we focus on the verb, the noun always takes care of itself. Peace, family.